I practically grew up without my father, without my mother. And when I was 8 years old, I had gotten involved with bad friends. And we would always be in the street robbing people, stealing. And that led me to even more dangerous things. When I was 12 years old, I got involved in a gang that would just dedicate themselves to breaking and entering, whether it was a house or business. And we had an encounter with the police. Majority of my friends took to jail. We went to jail, and because I was underage, seeing the situation at home, they made the decision that I was going to not go to jail, but I was going to be under house arrest. I was completely grounded and was home for about 2 months. I wouldn't go out. I couldn't do anything because of that situation. And after, when I was 14 years old, I was introduced to alcohol. I would start getting drunk. I started smoking to the extent that I started robbing again, just to have to drink, to smoke. When I was 16 years old, I started to sell drugs. I dedicated my life to selling drugs, to selling guns, and seeing that I ended up having a little bit more money. That's what took me to get involved in even stronger things. I became, my character was stronger. I was way more aggressive. I wasn't just someone who would fight with hands, but I would use my weapons, I would use my guns. I was involved in various fights where, unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives. And within time, we found other friends who were involved in other stronger drugs also. I knew cocaine, marijuana, but I started suffering with depression. I was very, very sad. I had insomnia. I was not able to sleep. The few hours that I did sleep, I had fear. I would have nightmares. There was a moment that I needed to take about 4 bottles of liquor every night. And I remember that I would start to drink 8 at night, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning, and there I was to go to drink more, to buy more alcohol. It was every day, every single night, and I would feel horrible because on top of that addiction, I would smoke. I would finish 2 boxes a day. I I ended up having ulcers in my body. I had a lot of pain on my back. I started having a very, very painful cough, and I started to smell bad. So I would go to the bathroom, I would feel nauseous, and when I would throw up, I would throw up blood. So I felt horrible. The people would look at me, people would see me, and they would get away from me from the smell that came out of my life. And the only way out, I thought, was committing suicide. And I tried to commit suicide 4 times. I remember the first time I saw a gas tank, and so I opened the gas tank so that I can inhale it and everything. And I said I'm gonna turn myself on fire, but it didn't explode. uh, Part of my body, part of my face was burned, but I wasn't able to. The second time I took a gun also, and I remember that I said, well, I tried it with gas, so I'm gonna try now with a gun. And thank God that I placed it to my head, and no bullet came out. I was also scared, no, of so much rage and anger because I pulled the trigger and the bullet didn't come out. I remember I threw the gun and I said, I'm not even worth taking my own life. I was at the bottom of the barrel. So I made the decision to go to the church. I saw the TV program, and I remember the pastor. He said, you who are here for the first time, come here up front. I'm going to make a special prayer for you. And he prayed for me. And what never happened in my life for 16 years, what I looked for in witch doctors, in so many places. It happened in one prayer. And there I hear about the baptism in the waters. I remember the pastor, he told me, you who want to have a new life, you who are tired of the life that you've been living, it doesn't matter what you did. You could have been a killer, a drug dealer, the worst of the worst you could have been. It doesn't matter. Come here up front and make the decision to surrender your life to Jesus. And I remember I had about 2 months going to the church in sincerity, but I made the decision to get baptized. I said, that's what I need. That's what I want. I desire. I look to be a new person. And I was baptized in the water. So my thoughts, they started to change. All evil stayed behind. And I started a new life. And I even found people that I knew that I had harmed. And I spoke with those people. I said, look, you know what? I come and ask you for forgiveness because I hurt you so bad. Your kids, your family members. I remember I asked for forgiveness to many people because they had threatened me. But even though I went and I said, I have nothing to lose because there is a necessity to repent and to truly surrender. And then I heard about the campaign of Israel. And so I participated for my deliverance, my true deliverance. I left the drugs on the side, the bad friends. And I remember another campaign came and I made a sacrifice to have the Holy Spirit. And in a little time, I received the Spirit of God. And from there, I remember within the month being in the campaign, I would come to the church about 30 minutes before on Wednesdays, 7 o'clock. I remember on that day, I came 1 hour before. I don't even know why I came 1 hour before. Nobody was there. It was just me. And I continued looking, at the title that says, Jesus Christ is the Lord. I remember I would look at it and I just started crying. It was like a movie passed of all evil that I did, of all the harm that I caused. And there a true affliction, that I couldn't control, and I started crying. And I said, "Well, why am I crying?" But it wasn't me crying of a bad, but I knew that God was embracing me because I grew up without a father. I didn't have that love. I didn't have that care of a father to hug me, to tell me, "Oh, I'm with you." So I felt that, and I saw that, like God saying to me, "Son, here I am, and you are never gonna be alone." So there, I had joy, I had peace, and God started opening doors in my life. And to being that person that never had anything, I even tried. I tried to have my own businesses. Never. I never had a good opportunity. And so God, in the campaign of Israel, He gave me vision, to get into real estate. So I started learning because I didn't know anything about the business. I had no idea how to begin, but the Spirit of God was the one who guided me, who gave me the direction to begin in that business. And now I'm free from the addictions. I don't have depression. I have no insomnia. There's no fear. There's no insecurity. So God has gone transforming little by little my life from the person who nobody would give anything for. Today, I am 8 years happily married. I have my wife. I have my kids. I have a happy family, united, happy economically. We're well. We have a vision of candy, of cookies. So God is opening the doors in our life, and truly today, what we never had imagined, today God has placed that in our lives. We're stable and we're happy with our family.